Hello everyone. Welcome to Confessions Jury, where people put themselves on the spot, waiting for your judgment. Sit comfortably and listen carefully, as you're about to hear today's cases. You hold the hammer and you apply the law. Let us have your verdict down in the comments section. As always, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Let's head on to our first case. Case 1. Am I the bad person for divorcing my wife after she said she wanted to send our son to a conversion camp? So, this is a pretty heavy situation, and I'm really confused and disgusted in GL because I never thought my wife was like Psy. My wife, 44F, and I, 45M, have been married for 14 years. We have 2 kids, a 16-year-old son, let's call him Noah, and a 12-year-old daughter. We've had our fair share of disagreements over the years OFC, but things have generally been smooth between us. Now for the context, Noah came out as gay about a year ago. It was a surprise, and as hard as it was to accept, I love my kids more than anything and just want their happiness. My wife visibly didn't take it well though. She was upset and seemed to go through a grieving period where she didn't really talk about it. I tried to support Noah in every way I could, telling him that I loved him no matter what, etc. My wife, though, I could tell she wasn't on the same page. She would say things like this is just a phase or he needs help, but I brushed it off as her needing time. Fast forward to last week, and we were having a conversation about Noah's future. Out of nowhere, my wife casually mentions that she's been looking into conversion therapy camps and thinks it might be the right solution. She said that Noah isn't truly gay, that he just hasn't been shown the right path, and that this could fix him. My blood ran cold. I was in shock. I immediately told her I didn't agree and that this was not something I could support, duh. She got upset and said I was enabling Noah's confusion and that if I really cared about him, I would help him get better. WTF is wrong with her? She was persistent, and no matter how much I tried to explain that conversion therapy is harmful, like I know those kids get abused, are *ped, and often end up either traumatized or killing themselves, and that I would never send our son to something like that, she wouldn't back down. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't even think I love her anymore. The fact she could be so heartless disgusts me. I know being gay is not easy, and people like her just make it even harder. I'm considering staying, only for our daughter's sake, but would it be okay if it means hurting my son? It feels like a betrayal to Noah. I just don't think I can keep living with someone who thinks this is okay. What do you guys think? Lay down your ruling in the comments section and let's move on to our next story. Case 2. Am I the bad person for telling my fiance that his family will be the reason why we don't get married? Me, 26F, and my fiance, 26M, have been together for 3 years and we have a 1-year-old. His family has always had something to say about our relationship even when we first started dating. We got engaged last year when we found out I was 7 weeks pregnant. But before I agreed to accept the proposal, I told him my boundaries and expectations. I also wanted him to sign a prenup and a postnup. He agreed to them and would also have his own. Now our first child just turned 1 and we were planning to start planning for our wedding. It was gonna be small with just immediate family and very close friends. We have scheduled time off to start checking out venues. I guess he told his parents about our plan and unsurprisingly, they were not happy. They wanted us to have a big wedding so they can invite all the family. They were upset that we didn't ask them what they wanted. I told my fiancé that it's not their wedding, therefore, we're gonna do what we want. This is where the disconnect happens. He sided with them and said his family deserved to be invited to our special day. But that's not the only problem. He disclosed to his parents that I'm also making him sign a prenup and a postnup. They said it was disgraceful and unwomanly of me. They told him to force me out of it. As I said, his parents have also had something to say about our relationship. Like I shouldn't be making more money than him. Or that I should put his name on the condo. Normally, it's settled through a text or a call and it'll be peaceful for a while. But this is something different. I no longer feel comfortable marrying him since it doesn't seem like he'll ever step up and stand up for our relationship. I feel like I'm gonna end up marrying him and his family. Our scheduled time off is approaching this Monday, and I don't know how to tell him that I no longer feel like marrying him. That it's because of his family. I know he loves them and I admire him for that, but how can I be okay with this when he loves them more than our own family that we created together? This has been eating me up inside because I feel like I'll be breaking our family apart, but I just don't know what to do. I'm afraid to reach out to our mutuals because I'm not the type to really talk stuff about my relationship. What do you guys think of this one? Let us know in the comments section and let's move on to our next story. Case 3. Am I the bad person for pointing out that none of my in-laws went to university? About a month ago, I, 24F, took my final exam at university, marking a huge milestone in my life. I'm the first woman in my family to achieve this, and it wasn't an easy journey. I faced significant hardships along the way, including homelessness, domestic violence, and the loss of family members. Despite everything, I graduated with honors and earned the highest grades in my class, which made me really proud. Last night, my partner's 27M parents hosted a big family gathering. While we were all at the dinner table, his cousin, who I get along well with, asked how it felt to be done and congratulated me on my achievement. I told him I felt proud and relieved that it was finally over. That's when my brother-in-law chimed in with a dismissive comment, saying something along the lines of, "It's not that big of an achievement, people do it all the time." His mom and a few others agreed, adding their own comments about how it's not hard to finish a degree. This brother-in-law has a history of putting me down, calling me dumb and other names, which my partner has addressed with him before. Ironically, he had once attended university himself, but was kicked out for failing all his classes in the first year. Usually, I ignore his remarks, but this one caught me off guard, and I responded without my usual filter, "Then how come you got kicked out?" His mom immediately told me my comment was inappropriate and rude. She went on to say that just because he didn't finish his degree doesn't mean he's wrong. I replied, "Well, if it's so easy, why hasn't a single one of you earned a degree?" Some family members, including my partner and the cousin, backed me up, but his mom was furious and asked me to leave. This morning, I woke up to messages from family members. Some agreed with me, saying I had a point but could have been nicer. Others, including his mom, felt my comments were uncalled for and said I had no right to humiliate my brother-in-law. So, am I the bad person? Can't wrap my head around that story. What do you think? Who is in the wrong there? Let us know down in the comments section and let's move on to our last case. Case 4. Am I the bad person for not letting my in-laws see their grandkid for the holidays? My husband, 34M, and I, 33F, have been together since we were 16 years old. My father-in-law and his wife have been together for about 10 years. We live in the South and politics can be a sore subject. My husband and I are moderate/liberal leaning. My in-laws are boomer Southern conservatives. Earlier this year, we welcomed our first child and their first grandchild. They would come over about twice a week to visit the baby. During their last visit, my FIL makes a comment that women are only in places of management because they have to be put there. That the woke movement has made it so women check a diversity box so they are selected for management even though men historically perform better in those roles. My husband and I told him not to say things like that because it is patently false. We also tell him it was very rude to say since he knows I was promoted to a management position when I returned from maternity leave. For some reason us challenging him really set off his wife. She goes on to tell me to shut up and says I sound like a moron. We calmly ask her to apologize and we say that we think the visit needs to be over. She refuses to apologize and refuses to leave because she hasn't held the baby yet. We then tell her if she can't apologize she needs to leave. Well, they both storm out of the house, and on their way out she calls my husband side-whipped and calls me a fwang b******ch. It has been months and they have still not apologized. We have tried to initiate that conversation and they were not having it. They told us that is the problem with us liberals, we don't respect that people have different opinions and we are willing to destroy families over it. In their mind, since they are his parents there is no need to apologize, so we need to just get over it. After the altercation, we both agreed we would not allow them around our child until they sincerely apologize. If you cannot respect the parents, you do not get to have a relationship with the child. If my husband wants to see his dad, that's totally fine, but no baby. I know that it sounds crazy to cut his dad out of his and our child's life forever. That's why we tried to initiate the conversation. Well, now the holidays are coming. I can tell my husband is getting anxious. I know he is disappointed his dad is going to be missing out on his grandchild's first Christmas. But I don't want them around. Even if they were to apologize now, I know it would only be to get what they want, which is to see the baby for the holidays. This is our first holiday season as parents. Our baby won't remember anything, but we will. We only get a few that they won't remember. Those are for us as parents. I don't want to share that time with people who speak to us that way in our own home. So, am I the bad person? You've sat down, you've listened. Now, it's time to state your ruling. What is it gonna be? Let us have it down in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more cases like these. In life, we may run, but we can never hide from true justice. Stay safe, everyone.